Um, you see, we've clearly the crisis has impacted India, but the impact is much less than most other emerging market economies. Let me first talk about the three channels through which the impacts have come. One is the financial markets. Now, financial markets have shown the following kinds of impacts. First of all, the capital market showed a dramatic decline, meaning the Bombay Stock Exchange had already been falling before the Lehman collapse of September 15th, but it fell even more. A major reason why it fell was because foreign institutional investors took money out because they were suffering from a shortage of liquidity in North America and in Europe. So there was an outflow of dollars. However, the banking sector was impacted only to the extent that there was a decline in liquidity. There was a shortage of liquidity, and that was immediately met by the Reserve Bank of India sort of responding by cutting cash reserve ratios with the commercial banks, reducing the rates at which the central bank lends to the commercial bank, and finally by reducing interest rates. So there was a massive infusion of liquidity, in fact, in response to the liquidity crunch that happened. Foreign exchange markets were also impacted in the sense that because of the outflows that I mentioned earlier, there was a tendency for the rupee to depreciate. In other words, the rupee at the beginning of 2008 was around 39-40 rupees to a dollar, but it kept creeping up through the year 2008, and it went all the way up to a maximum of 50 rupees to a dollar. However, since then it has appreciated again. Why? Because foreign institutional investors are bringing funds back in again. Also because foreign direct investment, which is in the investment into the real economy, have been sustained. They were high in the order of $30 billion in the financial year 7-8, and in the financial year 8-9 they were still about $34 billion, and they just continued. Because there's general optimism about the Indian economy. And the reason for the general optimism about the Indian economy is there are several fundamental reasons. Because the fundamentals are strong. Why are the fundamentals strong? Well, we've had unprecedented growth over the last 5 to 6 years at the rate of 8.5% per annum. And that is likely that trend rate might decline slightly in the next 1 or 2 years on account of the crisis. But the fact of the matter is that the fundamentals are strong. Let me go back to the fundamentals. Savings rate to GDP has gone up from 24% in 2003 to 38% of GDP in 2008-9. As a result, investment rate to GDP has gone up from 25% of GDP to 39% of GDP. These are unprecedentedly high levels. And these very high levels of savings and investment rate are likely to be sustained. In other words, what one is saying is that most of the growth is being driven by domestic savings and domestic investment, and at the same time foreign direct investment is increasing.